Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Teresa Giudice sinks to desperate Kim Zolciak low. RHONJ star Teresa Giudice has sunk to a desperate RHOA alum, Kim Zolciak low. Kim will do anything for a quick buck, no matter who she hurts, and it makes sense given her money problems. So is Teresa following in her footsteps. Keep reading for the latest on what she is doing that has fans enraged. There is a lot going on in the RHONJ circle. Season 14 may be the last for most of the current and long-standing cast members, including Teresa Giudice. The immense divide between the co-stars has created such a toxic and uncomfortable environment that it is not sustainable in the long run. Therefore, both Bravo and Andy Cohen are trying to figure out what the next step is, and that could mean a reboot. At the same time, Teresa has been doing her best to prove that her husband, Luis Ruiz, is a good man and not after her money. In the trailer, it was alleged that he had blown all of her money, and she was always miserable. She has claimed he has more than she does. However, Luis did take out a $1 million loan and may not have his job at Digital Media Solutions. Now, Teresa has sunk to a new low by posting a clickbait article that riled her followers up. It was a black and white photo of her and Luis with the caption, "I am here TPROKN, link in bio." According to Monsters and Critics, Teresa Giudice has since deleted the post. Yet some wondered if she initially shared the clickbait out of financial desperation. However, the Pink Pop Box was able to grab and share it, noting that it screams Kim Zolciak. She posts a lot of clickbait pieces, one that scared her daughter, Ariana Bierman, who then got secondhand embarrassment after seeing it. Kim has posted that her husband, Croy, is dead, and that she cheated just for a quick buck. There will always be the die-hard Teresa Giudice fans who think she is RHONJ and what it is all about. However, after seeing this posting, many are so over her and her antics. How long until she pimp out Gia to OnlyFans? She should be embarrassed. I think he is the bottom of the barrel. Pathetic, just like Zolciak. It's giving broke. Hopefully, if Teresa wants to prove that she and Luis are financially stable, she will stay away from articles such as these. Kim Zolciak, on the other hand, has her financial dirty laundry out there for the world to see. Teresa Giudice had always been the queen of drama on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, but recent events had started to push her reputation to new lows. It was as though the spotlight, once her crown, had become a harsh, glaring light, revealing the cracks in her once solid empire. The tensions, the scandals, and the never-ending social media chaos were reaching a fever pitch. But now, the woman who once claimed she would flip a table before she would bow down to anyone found herself sinking to a level she never thought she would. A Kim Zolciak level of desperation. The news broke late one evening, swirling on gossip blogs and exploding on Twitter. Teresa had been spotted entering a luxury casino in Atlantic City, not for a casual night out, but something more suspicious. A high-stakes gambling spree that shocked even her most loyal fans. Rumors had been circulating for weeks that Teresa's finances were on shaky ground again, despite her seemingly endless success on reality TV. But no one expected her to fall into a public spiral so reminiscent of the financial disasters that had plagued her castmate Kim Zolciak. Kim, of Real Housewives of Atlanta fame, had once been a larger-than-life figure in the Housewives franchise. But in recent years, her reputation had taken a nosedive after her opulent lifestyle crumbled under the weight of massive debts and lavish spending. The parallels between Teresa's latest missteps and Kim's humiliating fall from grace were undeniable and devastating for Teresa's brand. It started innocently enough, as these things often do. Teresa had been through a lot in the past year. The fallout from her legal battles, the strain of her marriage, and the constant demands of her growing family had left her more vulnerable than she'd ever let on. Her lavish wedding to Louis Rulis, followed by an expensive honeymoon, had raised eyebrows about her financial stability. Still, she insisted that everything was fine, brushing off concerns in the typical Teresa way, with fierce denial and sharp comebacks. But behind the scenes, sources close to Teresa whispered about mounting debts and the increasing pressure to keep up appearances. It wasn't long before Teresa, a woman who had already served time in federal prison for fraud, found herself once again navigating treacherous waters. The Atlantic City casino trip was supposed to be a one-off, a fun getaway to blow off some steam. But when Teresa was seen leaving the VIP area in a state of visible distress, her fans began to wonder if there was more to the story. Leaks began to surface. Apparently, Teresa had been on a losing streak, placing reckless bets in a desperate attempt to win big and solve her financial woes in one fell swoop. The rumors were confirmed when photos surfaced of Teresa clutching her purse tightly, her face a mask of frustration, as she left the casino late into the night. It didn't take long for comparisons to Kim Zolciak's infamous downward spiral to flood the internet. Kim had once been the poster child for the glitzy, glamorous life housewives aspire to. The mansion, the luxury cars, the over-the-top parties. But when the money dried up, her story quickly became a cautionary tale. Foreclosures, unpaid bills, lawsuits, it was all too familiar. And now it seemed Teresa was walking down the same path. The backlash was swift. Fans were horrified to see their favorite Jersey queen in such a precarious position, while her critics reveled in the drama. Online, memes began circulating, mocking Teresa for pulling a Zolciak, and hashtags like #HousewivesDownfall trended for days. Teresa, known for her ironclad pride, was mortified. Publicly, she remained defiant, insisting that she had the situation under control. But behind the scenes, it was clear that things were spiraling. Louis Rulis, Teresa's new husband, had always been her rock, or at least, that's how they portrayed their relationship on TV. But sources close to the couple hinted that the stress of Teresa's financial troubles was taking a toll on their marriage. Louis, who had been a successful businessman before stepping into Teresa's reality TV world, was reportedly frustrated by Teresa's refusal to acknowledge the seriousness of their financial situation. Rumors also began circulating that Teresa was scrambling to renegotiate her Bravo contract, demanding a higher salary for the upcoming season in a bid to save herself from financial ruin. The network, however, was hesitant. While Teresa remained a fan favorite, her erratic behavior and the growing legal concerns surrounding her and Louis had made the network wary. Bravo had been through enough scandals, and they weren't eager to add another potential disaster to their plate. As Teresa's world seemed to crumble around her, friends and castmates began to distance themselves. Margaret Josephs, who had long clashed with Teresa on the show, didn't hesitate to comment on the situation publicly, saying, "This is what happens when you live beyond your means." Teresa's been pretending she's untouchable for years, but the truth always comes out. Even Melissa Gorga, Teresa's sister-in-law and longtime frenemy, seemed to take a step back, posting cryptic messages about karma on her Instagram. Despite the growing isolation, Teresa refused to back down. In true Giudice fashion, she decided to fight back. She took to social media, posting a series of glamorous photos, flaunting her luxurious lifestyle as if to prove that nothing had changed. But the cracks were too deep to cover up. No matter how many designer outfits or luxury cars she flaunted, the reality of her situation was becoming harder to ignore. The more Teresa tried to cling to her old life, the more she seemed to sink. Like Kim Zolciak before her, Teresa was learning the hard way that fame and fortune could disappear in an instant. And as the walls closed in, it became clear that Teresa was at a crossroads. Would she find a way to claw her way back to the top, or would she, like Kim, become another cautionary tale of a housewife who flew too close to the sun? Only time would tell. But for now, Teresa Giudice was learning that even the biggest stars can fall. And sometimes the fall is harder than anyone could imagine.